Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SAS Viya Release Highlight Show. I'm Tiago de Souza, and today we'll be talking about what's new in SAS Viya as of May 2023. In our Release Talk segment, we have an interview with Dave Froning about the Internet of Things, or IoT as it's frequently called, and SAS Field Quality Analytics, where we've added a brand new functionality called Custom Analysis Framework. It's a no-code, low-code way for users to add analyses beyond the 14 that's shipped out of the box. Custom Analysis Framework is also being released for asset performance analytics, production quality analytics, and analytics for IoT. Next, we're going to learn about SAS Explore, SAS's user and technology conference in September. Let's get started with today's Release Talk. All right, we are connected with Dave Froning now. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Tiago.
So we're glad to have you on the show to talk to us about all this exciting IoT stuff. So first question I have for you, your work primarily deals with how SAS analytics can make an impact in the IoT space, but what exactly does SAS focus on when it comes to IoT?
Sure. Well, focus is an interesting question because IoT is just such a broad domain. It really impacts all industries and government as well. Whether it's monitoring insulin levels through wearable devices or looking at worker safety through video analytics, or even predictive maintenance on mining trucks that are deep underground. There's so many different applications for IoT. And that's really why we take a two-pronged approach in this area. First is a horizontal approach through solutions like what we call SAS Analytics for IoT. This is really a broad application that's targeted at high velocity, high volumes of data coming off sensored equipment. And that can be used across any use case in any industry. But when we see a use case that's repeatable and profitable, we build out a vertical solution. So that could be things like energy forecasting or predictive maintenance or field quality.
Very cool. Horizontal, vertical, a lot of different directions we can go with it. One particular thing that I've been hearing about that I'm hoping you could elaborate more on is the SAS Field Quality Analytics. I heard that that's also getting some new functionality. Could you tell me more about that?
Sure, be happy to. Quality is a huge cost for manufacturers. The cost of poor quality is generally measured around 20% of sales. And just warranty claims alone for most manufacturers are around 2% of their sales. So there's a lot of money being spent on warranty, but even beyond that, there's the recalls, the bad headlines, the lost sales and lawsuits. There's just a lot of bad things that go along with products failing out in the field. And that's really where field quality analytics comes in. So we look at things like warranty claims, customer surveys, technician hotlines, even codes coming off of the device while it's in use, to try to understand what's going on in the product and when we're seeing more failures than we would expect just based on normal variation. So that might come through automated early warning. We have a process that automatically looks at the data and finds issues months earlier than most manufacturers are currently finding those issues. And then we have a standard set of analyses that accelerate root cause analysis so that the engineer can get to the cause of the problem as quickly as possible. And one of the coolest new things that we're adding that's just coming out in this release is what we call Custom Analysis Framework. And what that allows our customers to do is go beyond what we ship out of the box. So we've got those standard analyses that I mentioned with field quality. There's 14 of them that work really well with this type of data. But with the Custom Analysis Framework, an advanced user has a no-code or at least a low-code user interface where they can go in and create a new analysis template and then distribute it across hundreds of users so that those users have the power of that new analysis and they can go beyond what came in the box.
You mentioned low-code as part of the Custom Analysis Framework, and I've been hearing that term more and more lately, low-code, no-code. Why is that so important in the space right now?
Yeah, it's really important because there's always a lack of resources within an organization. So whether that's data scientists or developers, they don't have the people that they'd like to have to go out and create new content. So what a low code or no code environment does is it kind of democratizes the development of these analyses. So you don't have to be a data scientist or a database expert, but if you've got some good ideas for how you want to analyze the data, you can point and click your way to say, I need a radio button here or a checkbox there, build out that user interface and the analysis and output you want. And you can integrate, whether it's SAS code or open source or wherever the code is from, bring that into the system. And now you've got that new analysis template that you can share across the organization. And actually, I think it'd probably be best to show you. So why don't we switch over to a demonstration?
Yes, please. Let's hop right in.
Here we are in Field Quality Analytics. Now, no code and low code are really important because of the user persona that we're focused on here. This use case is all around finding quality issues as the products are out in the field and getting to the root cause of the problem as quickly as possible. And the main people who are doing that work are analysts and engineers. They're not data scientists, they're not developers. They're people who understand the product and need to take action. So here we are in the alert workspace of Field Quality Analytics. And again, an engineer would come into the system really looking for what are the new things that are failing at a higher rate than they would expect. So we look at things like when did the unit, when was it actually manufactured, or how long was it in service? Or in the chart on the right, when did the warranty claim or the call center record or the diagnostic trouble code occur? So we can start to look for patterns in our manufacturing process, maybe seasonal issues in the field, but really start to get that first, not only early warning of what the problem is, but also the first clues on what might be driving it. Now, for most of our customers, just this piece alone, the alert workspace, saves about 4 months off of the problem-solving process. But of course, knowing about the problem isn't enough. You need to try to get to the root cause. And to do that, you need to better understand what's going on in your data. So the engineer would next drill into that emerging issue. And I don't have time to go through a full demo of the product, but you'd want to run things like trends to look for how are things changing over time. You might then take a look at things like Pareto charts or decision trees, other types of analytics, from simple things like bar charts to more complex things like text analytics. Regardless of what the analysis is, you want it to be clear to the user what action they need to take without having to write any code at all. Now, for each of these standard analyses that we ship with Field Quality Analytics, the user selects some options, what we call the properties. So this input screen is vital to any of the analyses. It's where the user picks what data they're interested in and what options they want. Now, for many of our customers, those 14 standard analyses are sufficient. But in some cases, they want to go beyond the 14 out-of-the-box analyses and have their own custom analyses. In the past, that would be built outside the application and a completely separate workflow. But now, with the custom analysis framework that we're launching this month, that's an integrated process. So now I'm taking off my analyst hat and putting on my administrator hat. This is a different user persona. This is somebody who is a more advanced user and may be able to write some code, but still not probably a full-fledged developer. So here in the administration workspace, I can see a list of all of my available analysis types. So many of these are standard out-of-the-box analyses that come with the solution, but you can see we've got a couple of custom ones as well. And I'll go ahead and open a custom one that's already been created called Asset Profile. And in the upper left here, you can see there are really 3 steps in the custom analysis process. You define the input screen. So what widgets do you want on the screen? Drop-down menus, radio buttons, date pickers, whatever the case might be. What code do you want to run? And what do you want the output to look like? So here we are in the Input tab, and you can see that we've got a basic input screen here developed where the user can pick a data selection, they can choose a table of data, or they can upload their own CSV file. And with each of those choices, we've set up some interactions here so that the user can then input maybe the name of a file or something like that. So this is the process, just simply pointing and clicking, no coding necessary, to pick what do you want that user input to look like. So again, this is the administrator creating it for the analyst. So through a few points and clicks, you've created the input screen. The next step would be to go to the code tab. So this is where the administrator would start to do some coding. So you could input your SAS code here. It could be R, it could be Python. But the idea is, what do you want to run when the user clicks go after they choose their input options? And then the third tab, this is the output XML. This is what you want the screen to look like, charts, graphs, tables, etc., after the code runs. Now, in this case, we're looking at some XML code. But the great thing is, Field Quality Analytics includes SAS Visual Analytics. And what I can do with SAS Visual Analytics, I can create an interesting report. In this case, I've got some pie charts and line charts, various other types of information here, all the way down to raw tables. And after I create this, again, this is through a low-code environment where I can just point and click and say what graphs do I want on the screen, what tables, etc. All I have to do is hit Control-Alt-D, and it gives me all the XML. This was automatically created behind the scenes when I told it I wanted a couple of pie charts, a line chart, etc. So I can just copy this and paste it into our custom analysis framework. And now I'm done with my output. The next step is to save it and close it. And now I see it available in my list of available assets. So that was the administration part. That was me as an administrator creating a brand new analysis that didn't exist before. But it's only useful if an analyst or an engineer now starts taking advantage of it and using it to solve problems. So let's put the analyst hat back on and move over to the analysis workspace. This is the workspace we were in a few minutes ago, where we could see things like trend charts, text analysis, etc. But I'm going to create a brand new analysis. And now as an analyst, I can pick the data I'm interested in. And when I choose my analyses, I see I have this new analysis available. So this is the custom analysis that we created. And I can give it a name. And now when I come into the properties page of this new analysis, I see the options that we provided. So in this case, it was things like, do I want to select the data selection? Do I want to import a CSV file, etc.? So, and these interactions can be built out for data selections, for radio buttons, for a very rich and full user experience. But I'm going to keep it simple and just go ahead and run my analysis. And after it completes, I can simply come over, open it up. And view the output. So this is that brand new custom analysis. Now it's run against the data that I care about as an analyst. And in this case, I can see things about my data, how many devices and measurements and trends, various other types of breakdowns of the data. And these analyses can be interactive. So I can start to drill in and see what's going on within my data. Now, the other great thing about the custom analyses is they behave just like a standard analysis that gets shipped by SAS R&D. That means you can interact with it, you can drill into it, you can share it with other people. All of the benefits of a standard analysis that comes with Field Quality Analytics applies to these custom analyses.
Wow, that was a lot of content there. I love seeing the point and click. Seems very user friendly. One question I have for you is: will this be available in other products across the IoT portfolio?
Yes, actually, it's rolling out as part of that horizontal SAS Analytics for IoT solution that I mentioned. So, regardless of what the IoT use case is, you can apply this custom analysis framework, and that also means it's part of all the vertical solutions that are built on top of it. So, whether you're looking at predictive maintenance of equipment, video analytics for safety applications, optimizing cargo ship routes across the ocean, or some cool new IoT application that we haven't thought of yet. This capability is there, and you can build out these analyses to get your ideas and those capabilities in front of those end users.
Right. IoT is super fascinating to me in all the different use cases, from digital twins to 5G. The technology is always evolving. Is there any new developments in IT that you're particularly excited about?
Yeah, I mean, the whole area is exciting. I mean, there are tens of billions of devices that are connected, probably hundreds of billions, and that number keeps growing. That's great news for companies and for governments, because they can get a better idea of how their products and services are being used by the end customer. But it's also great from an analytic perspective, because AI and analytics really thrive on all of this data that's being collected now through these devices. Two key areas that are really taking off. One is edge processing. So, we've had an event stream processing edge product for years now, where the data don't need to be brought back to a server in the cloud somewhere. It can actually be analyzed on the end device. So whether it's a train driving through the outback that's not connected to the internet, or whether it's a video camera on a street corner, edge processing can happen at the point where the data is being collected, which means you can have faster reaction times. You don't have to have internet connection. So it's a great area of advancement, and really the hardware technology is catching up, so that the deployments are easier. We can get the processing out to the edge and run some pretty sophisticated analytics on some pretty small devices. And then the other area is video analytics. Obviously, there are video cameras all around us as we walk down the street, and those can be utilized for things like monitoring traffic congestion, public safety, lots of different purposes. So that's another area within IoT that's growing quickly.
Very cool. Edge processing and video analytics, two things to look out for in the future. Dave, I think you've answered all my questions, but if someone were wanting to dig in deeper into these ideas and into IoT, what resources would you point them to?
Well, sure. IDC recently published a great paper on using service data and warranty claims to enhance product quality. So that's a great resource. And of course, folks can always check out SAS.com for more information on these IoT products and read some of the customer success stories. There's some pretty inspiring stuff on how people are using this technology to enhance the bottom line, but also make the world a better place.
Very true. The customer success story is a great place to get a firsthand telling of people's journeys with these products. Dave, Thank you so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Dave. If you want to discuss IoT, SAS Viya, or really any other SAS topic, there's no better place than SAS Explore, SAS's user and technology conference. For the first time since 2019, you'll be able to join thousands of other SAS users in person in Las Vegas from September 11th through the 14th at the Aria Resort and Casino, right on the Las Vegas Strip. Let's check out this video about SAS Explore and then talk with SAS's own Chris Hemmedinger about why you need to attend. All right, we are connected with Chris Hemmedinger now. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, Tiago. Great to be here.
Yeah, super happy to have you. We're talking about SAS Explore. We haven't had a user group event like this since 2019? Could you tell us a little bit more about SAS Explore itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wearing the shirt that we were supposed to have for our 2020 conference that we made the difficult decision to cancel in early 2020 because of obvious reasons. And this will be the first time that we're all coming back together for a SAS user event of this size since that time. And I'm super excited about it.
Awesome. Yeah. So last year's SAS Explore event was all virtual, but this year we'll be headed to Las Vegas, and that's super exciting. Hopefully I can go. But for people who are on the fence about going, could you tell them some reasons why they should consider attending?
Yeah. SAS Explore is, think of it as the renamed SAS Global Forum. And this event, this SAS user event, has a rich tradition of bringing together thousands of SAS users from around the world to share their knowledge, to network with each other, to learn from each other. So being in person, I mean, that's the number one thing that SAS users ask me when I talk to them is, when are we having SAS Global Forum in person again? And the answer is, it is SAS Explore. It's in Las Vegas in September of 2023. It's a great opportunity to learn and share and network again together.
Yeah, Chris and myself, we're both on the communities team, so we interact with users online all the time, but it'll be super nice to get to see some of those faces in person.
It is great to be able to put faces to those names, yeah.
Yes, for sure. I'm excited to see who I can point out just based on participation at the SAS Bowl and things like that, which is a trivia event that we won't get into, off topic. So SAS Explore, there's going to be a lot of presentations at SAS Explore. Is it too late to submit a proposal for content?
No, it's not too late. Call for content is open right now. It closes May 31st. So just visit explore.sas.com and submit your content proposal. It doesn't take too much. It's basically just share your contact information and your topic idea, flesh it out as much as you can. Any topic that has to do that would be of interest to SAS users is fair game. So, of course, on this show, we talk a lot about SAS Viya, but a lot of users are out there using SAS 9. And the fact is, SAS 9 topics also apply in SAS Viya because there's really not that big of a divide. So SAS 9, SAS Viya, any SAS solution you use, open source integration with SAS, all of those are great topics. And if you have expertise and experience in those things and you want to share it, please submit your topic idea.
Awesome. Like you said, deadline is May 31st, and it doesn't matter if you're using SAS Viya or SAS 9. Anything is acceptable, any of our products.
Right. And let me point out, Tiago, if your topic is accepted, then you will, of course, be committed to come to Vegas to present, and your registration for the event is waived. So it's a great way to get at least a free registration for the event.
Awesome. Win-win. Not only do you get to go to Vegas, but you get to present in front of a bunch of people, be a superstar. Sounds like just good stuff all around.
Yeah, it's all glory, all upside. And yeah, the presenting for SAS users is a fun experience. It's a friendly crowd. They all want to learn from each other.
Awesome. So Chris, you yourself, you've presented at events like this dozens of times. Could you tell us a little bit about how that process is of preparing for the presentation, executing the presentation, going to the event? Do you have like a favorite SAS users event moment from the past?
Oh, so many. I do. I love this event and events like it in person with SAS users. Just the sort of electricity you get from the crowd of people who are excited about the technology that they're using and excited to meet the people behind it. One of the things about SAS Explore, it's an opportunity to not just meet your fellow SAS users, but there'll be a lot of people from SAS there, the people who are the ones building the technology that we use every day. It's your chance to network with them, to provide your feedback, to ask your questions. They'll be presenting too, and they will want to learn from you. That's how we make the software and experience better. Really, this event is virtual. We did what we needed to do for virtual, but in person, there's just no substitute. I'm really looking forward to being back together with SAS users.
Right. I agree. Can't be beat. And like you said, even if you're not planning to present, just attending will be super fun as well. I mean, it's in Las Vegas, which is fun at its core, and then SAS Explore happening is just the icing on the cake. But in terms of the presentations itself, do we have a rough estimate of how many we can expect to see at SAS Explore?
Well, I think maybe somewhere in the realm of maybe 100 or maybe 120. I'm not quite sure how full the agenda will be, but I know that the experience is being planned right now. There'll be not just these breakout sessions, which are these technology talks by SAS users and by SAS employees, but also that I'm sure there will be compelling keynotes and other experiences that kind of bring the fun together and help users bond with each other. And unique experiences that are, that are tailored for SAS customers, for SAS users, to help them have fun and learn a little bit more about SAS.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds like a lot of different activities and experiences that people could choose to go to. I also heard about a demo hall. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, always at these conferences we have something in an exhibit hall. I think this year it will be called the SAS Innovation Hub, and it's a place where those technology people from SAS, people from R&D, the engineers, they're going to be there to kind of do demos and answer questions and interact with you, get your feedback. There will also be other fun networking things and talks within there as well. It's really sort of a half sort of technology showcase, half social networking venue to really bring it all together. So yeah, the Innovation Hub is a true hub, and it's really one of the key parts of this conference.
Awesome. Great. I'll make sure not to miss out on the Innovation Hub. I feel like you've pretty much caught me up to speed on SAS Explore. Do you have any final comments or things that people should know about the event?
I do, in fact. In addition to the opportunity to present, if you submit a topic that's accepted, we also have an expanded SAS customer recognition program this year. And we want people to submit their great stories and basically achievements, things that they have done using SAS technology, and their own skills and know-how to solve their own problems. And this is a great opportunity to get recognition for great work that you've done. And there's several categories that you can submit, and you should check it out at it's hosted on our community site at communities.sas.com, as well as you can find information at explore.sas.com. Submit your nomination for a customer award. If it places in first place in the category, you get not just free registration, but you also get a travel allowance to get you to the conference if you're able to accept that. So it's a really great opportunity to not just get some glory for the work that you've done, but also get access to the conference for not too much more investment from you.
Yes, that's a great point to bring up. I actually pulled it up here as some additional details. The submission window for the Customer Recognition Awards is open until June 2nd. And like Chris said, not only will you win a trip to SAS Explore in Vegas, but you'll also get a SAS trophy and some mysterious SAS swag. So definitely submit for that one as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris, that's all the questions I've had. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and we hope to see everybody at SAS Explore.
All right. Thanks, Tiago.
All right. Who's excited? Registration for SAS Explore is now open, and you can save $500 if you register by June 30th. And remember, it's not too late to submit your idea to present at SAS Explore, complete with free conference registration. But you need to submit your presentation idea by May 31st. To get more information and to register, visit the SAS Explore website at explore.sas.com. Well, we've reached the end of our show. However, we will be back at it again next month with more guests and highlights. Our next show will be Tuesday, June 20th at noon Eastern Time. If you're watching this on YouTube, why not give us a like, subscribe to the SAS Users YouTube channel, and click on that bell so you'll get notified for new videos and when we go live for that next show. Also, comment on what topics you'd like to see in future shows. I've been your host, Tiago de Souza. We've explored a lot of topics today. Let's continue our expedition next time. Thanks, everyone.